Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Jerry Jones rebukes Stephen A. Smith's Joe Biden comparison. I appreciate his concern. As Stephen A. Smith claims Jerry Jones' cognitive decline is rivaling Joe Biden's, the Dallas Cowboys owner believes he's still sharp as a tack. During his weekly appearance with 105.3 The Fan's midday show The KNC Masterpiece, Jones was asked about Smith recently expressing worry for his mental state. More specifically, Jones responded to Smith, believing it's time for someone to remove him from the public spotlight. Stephen A. is a fraud in a positive sense, and I'm smiling. We are friends, Jones claimed. And I am having huge support and huge input and help from everyone he mentioned in that call about stepping in. But I would say if he had asked me that question relative to the issue or the criticism that Biden had about his ability to function, I wish he would follow me around every day. And he would see that I'm the busiest I've ever been in my life. I'm not concerned about the ability to do the work, to do the job. I just made a quick 14-hour trip back and forth to New York yesterday for a league meeting. But my point is that, Stephen A., and I'd love to have him just sit beside us for a day and make the rounds and have him listen to me field the calls and do the kinds of things we do, and he wouldn't be worried about me there. But I do appreciate his concern. And by the way, it is genuine. Surely, that's exactly what Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys need right now, a wellness check from Stephen A. Smith. In the wake of Jones battling reporters over curtains at AT&T stadiums and the Cowboys losing their fifth straight game, Smith went on First Take this week and sounded the alarm on the 82-year-old NFL owner. 3 things we have learned about the Cowboys entering Week 12. The Dallas Cowboys continued their dismal season on Monday when they lost to the Houston Texans, their 5th consecutive defeat. That leaves the team at 3-7 for the year, and all but assures that there won't be a 4th straight playoff appearance, especially with quarterback Dak Prescott gone until 2025. No matter what aspect you look at when it comes to the Cowboys, they're a bad football team. They can't stop the run, they can't run it on offense, the offensive line is a mess, and they're extremely undisciplined. However, there's still 7 more games for the Cowboys to play, and as frustrating as it is, the team has to grind its way through the rest of season and get to the off-season activities. Until then, let's look at 3 things that we have learned about the Cowboys as they prepare for an NFC East battle with the Washington Commanders. Dallas needs to seriously consider putting Darren Bland on season-ending injured reserve. Bland had a season for the ages in 2023 by leading the NFL in interceptions, 9, and setting the record for touchdown returns with 5. Unfortunately, he suffered a stress fracture in his foot that sidelined him for the first 2 months of the year. He was set to return a few weeks ago, but he had a setback in his recovery. With the Cowboys at 3-7 and little to no chance of making the playoffs, the team needs to think about shutting Bland down for the year. There's no need to risk further injury in what has become a lost season for the Cowboys. The best thing is to let him heal up and come back ready for 2025. Cowboys should think about moving on from Terrence Steele. Steele was one of the better right tackles in the league in 2022. His ascension took a hit at the end of that season when he suffered a torn ACL and MCL. Despite this, the Cowboys signed him to a 5-year extension before the 2023 season. He played all 17 games a year ago, but it was clear that he was still trying to get back to form. In 2024, Steele has struggled mightily. He's getting beat with speed and power, and if a guy has any kind of a pass rush plan against Steele, they can make him look completely lost. The Cowboys should look at some of their alternatives at tackle, like Asim Richards, and see what they have for 2025 and beyond. Wanya Thomas needs to play more. Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker have been solid for the most part over the last few years. However, especially when it comes to Wilson, that play has dwindled this season. Wilson has been a huge liability in coverage, and he has missed 18% of his tackles, which is the second highest of his career. Thomas has shown that when he gets opportunities, he can be a playmaker. He's very disciplined in coverage, and he can help against the run. Dallas has little to no hope of making the postseason, and Thomas is a player that they should highly consider bringing back in 2025. They should give him more snaps now, to see what they have for the foreseeable future. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones breaks silence on Deion Sanders rumors. The Deion Sanders to the Dallas Cowboys train has been on full steam over the past 2 weeks. While Sanders has dismissed the claims, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones spoke to John Machota of The Athletic and raved about his former player and if there's any likelihood he coaches in the NFL. "I think we're way ahead of ourselves relative to when and if he decides to go into coaching in the NFL," Jones said. "One of his greatest skills, that he really brings to college, is that he almost has no fear as far as being a recruiter. Kids want to come play for him. And he has a way of selling that." Jones is spot on about Sanders' credentials within the college game. As a former Defensive Player of the Year and an All-Pro, the Colorado head coach has the expertise to attract big names. For instance, when he took the job at Jackson State University, his presence made something crazy happen. Travis Hunter, the #1 player in the country at that time, was intending on going to Florida State University. However, he flipped his commitment to Jackson State, where Sanders was coaching. Then, when Sanders left for a Power 5 conference, Hunter came with him. Jerry Jones understands how Deion Sanders could benefit the Cowboys, and all of football, being a Hall of Famer, certainly helps Sanders. However, only in his second season, Colorado could see themselves in the Big 12 championship game. In his first year, they went 4-8 after upsetting TCU in Week 1. Fast forward to this season and they've been utterly dominant. However, the turnaround has him in conversations for Coach of the Year. Jones knows that his expertise within the college game could translate so much to the pros. That is one skill, that recruiting skill, that is not a huge prerequisite for NFL coaches. One of his greatest values is in that area of putting the team together and getting great talent to come play for him there at Colorado. All of that would go into your mind. But make no mistake about it, he's one of the top people, young and old, that I've been around in the NFL. Dallas head coach Mike McCarthy has 1 year left on his contract and will likely not be extended. Although it's unlikely the Cowboys land the #1 pick, they can still potentially see Sanders coaching. Regardless, he's focused on making the Big 12 title game and the Cowboys have the rest of the season to worry about. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Deion Sanders? Leave your opinion in the comments.